working shuffle effect. I mean, I'm probably not going to win this. Yeah. Okay, we're just going to pitch everything here. So we want to get Executioner. Stands pretty good. Will admit. I keep doing that. Oh man. Playing against fairies. So, most fairy decks I know are like a swarm type deck. Now, we don't care so much about the protection of the fairies simply because most of the way we kill things is actually by just destroying it. Unfortunately, we can't trigger the Executioner on this because this is actually not a Darkness Magic Stone. It's a Black Moon's Memoria, which, if you look at it, it does not say treat this as a Darkness Magic Stone and a Moon Magic Stone, or whatever it would be. Um, yeah. I think he doesn't know that this isn't a Darkness Magic Stone. Um, I should tell him. Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell him that he doesn't need to worry about me countering the Vivienne here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm completely fine if he's got a bunch of those in hand. Um, well, that's a little awkward. I don't think I want to play this. I can't play anything, can I? Nope. That is terrible. So I put the Deathscythe in. That's a change. I put one Deathscythe in. I actually want to consider putting in two. Because I just now realized. Well, no, I think one is fine. The more I think about it, I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I think one is fine. He's probably just gonna attack with his dudes and not play anything because he doesn't want to trigger the Executioner. No. Yeah, he has a Flame Sprite. The Flame Sprite is kind of a problem, but I think it's more important to get rid of Vivienne here. Okay, so we get +2/+2. This would be what? There's two fairies that do so 4, so 6. So time for 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, there's 8. This is what, 4? No, it's 6. It's 6. No, it is 8. It is 8. Yeah. I really want to see a sign feature here. There's 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, is it 10? Oh, it is 10. Wow, that's actually a lot of damage. I don't think I want to get rid of my Executioner, though. Yeah, that'll let us cast the Rukh Egg. I'm not a huge fan of it, though. Huge fan of casting it off of that one. Play another Executioner. We want to get rid of here. Probably the Moonbreeze Fairy. Because I don't want him to have a pump effect. And I don't care as much about... Yeah, I don't care as much about the wind spray here, or anything with protection of fairies on it. I don't think it's going to be a relevant thing. I'm going to take a bunch of damage though. I need to get my Lucifer pretty soon. Although I don't know how he plans on finishing the game here. But yeah, playing against a swarm deck can lead to... Well, if I see a sign, I would have just blown him out really hard. I'm not really afraid of swarm decks as much, because we run 3 signs in this. Okay. Do I want to kill a lane here? He's gonna have protection of the fairies. Well, it depends on what he puts protection on. I'm probably gonna kill the wind spray, because I don't want him to be able to shoot things. Yeah, I think that's the best option. If he swings with this, swinging for what, 6? Could probably just sack off the Hastur here. Or I can block with this. It doesn't fly, so I'm just gonna block with this. It's got a Maribel. That's interesting. Well, it's kind of unfortunate because now my Hastur has, or my Nyarlathotep has no target. So we're just gonna go ahead and set one of these things. The lane flies, which is unfortunate. We're probably just gonna take that damage, like no matter what. Block this with. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and set this because he get judgment next turn. I don't want to get something too scary here. And we're probably just gonna take the lane damage. Let's see. Attack. Because I'm not gonna block the wind sprite with the Hastur. So I think it's better just attack there. But yeah, Fairies is one of those decks that tries to swarm the field really fast, but also tends to run out of cards really fast. Unless they get lucky and see all their water sprites. So it's not too difficult dealing with them. I really wish I had seen a sign though. Sign in the Future would have just sealed this match away. But sometimes, I mean, even though we run 3, I don't want to run 4. Sometimes I feel like I want to run 4, but I think that's just confirmation bias because I end up playing against like 2 swarm decks in a row, and I'm just like, oh, I wish I had seen more signs. But then what happens is I would play against like a deck that is like not, yeah. Then I end up playing a deck that's not a swarm deck, and then if I had 4 signs, then it'd be pretty bad. Even 3 signs feels like a lot against a deck that doesn't have like a swarm type strategy. I'm curious what he grabbed here. He could get Levitin. And then blow up my Deathscythe, but I don't think that would be very good. 6. Yeah. I think I'll chump that, actually. Chump that and grab... I want to grab a Hastur. Well, I can't grab a Hastur at this point. I just now realized Hastur's not going to be very good here because of all these Protection of the Fairies. So what I'm gonna do, um, I'm gonna go ahead and kill this thing, and then I'm gonna end up taking 2 from that. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of Executioner here. I really do want to see. Well, Nyarlathotep's awkwardly gonna be bad. Not Nyarlathotep. I think I want to keep it. Do I get the sign here? I don't think I get the sign here. He's out of cards in hand. There's no point getting the sign here. Yeah. So there's that. Draw to play. Oh, we're going to attack this thing if we can. Yeah, that happens. Play this. This will probably be used to chump something. Go ahead and hardcast this. Kill the flame sprite. And I feel pretty good sitting at 10 life. I don't think he can kill me. He can draw 2 cards, though. That's actually very good. Actually, now I think about it, I really like his deck. I just, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because Fairies is a type of deck that does run out cards, and so Beyond the Judgment Liberator makes a lot of sense. So in that case, I don't know, I just forgot about Liberator's effect, probably because I haven't played against Liberator in a while. That's pretty thoughtful of him. I probably should have kept the sign then. But we'll see. Once again, I don't see a Lucifer, even though we're getting close to seeing about half the cards in our deck. I really do really want to see a Lucifer, because gaining life is going to be really important. He's going to get protection of the Fairies from the deck. Should be the last one. No, he doesn't have any. So 400. Oh no, it's 600. Yeah, it's actually a lot. We're gonna draw. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this thing. I think I can just start training Hasters now. The sign here is okay. Nyarlathotep is awful. And I can get it back later with Pitch Black Moon if I really need it. So we're just gonna do this. Well, let's see. I guess I need to tap one of the red sources here. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of. I guess we're gonna get rid of this one. We're at the like stoning this one, I guess. We're gonna shake this one. Go ahead and attack this one if we can. This is a little awkward. I have to leave up stoning mana, I guess. I don't know, cause like I can kill Elaine. I can do it several ways. Um, it's probably better to just kill the Elaine now, cause that is guaranteed lethal right there. Uh, and just hope he doesn't have like a. Just hope he doesn't draw like 2 flame sprites or something. Basically. Yeah. So we lost that one. That had mostly to do with me not seeing a Lucifer. Um, I don't feel too bad about that one. It's just disappointing not to have seen a Lucifer. Bear is not very good here, but I don't think are rogues better than barriers here. I actually think they are. Split's also a card. Um, so what was awful here? I don't think Deathscythe was necessarily awful, because I know he's running Lev now. Stone Death is fine, I think. Do I want to put in a split? That's the question. Nyarlathotep actually seems bad here, but I think I keep them. Flames are probably... I'll cut 1 flame and put a split here. No, I don't think so. I keep the flame. I have to keep the flame. And the reason why is because splitting him is not as good as actually killing Liberator and stopping his hands or his card draw later on. So so this hand is obviously awful, and this hand is also not spectacular, but we can probably roll with it. Set a sign. Uh, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, set the sign and pass. Yeah, there's some initial damage. We do have a Lucifer this time, which is why we couldn't win last game. It's because we couldn't gain any life. And that was just unfortunate. Wonder if he's going to play around Sign or if he thinks that's Executioner. We're going to get rid of this and this. Draw, cover, call a stone here. Our hand is actually pretty awful. Actually, there's no point to do that. And the reason why is, if I just play the Gwyn, is that really better than playing a Flame? I don't think so. Because we're going to play the Lucifer next turn, so we want to just kill a high priority target with Flame. Just take the 2 or the 4 or whatever from from Flame Sprite here. Because if he drops a Vivian, we can just flame it. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and flame this thing. And then on our turn, we're gonna play a Lucifer and start gaining life. So Lucifer is the MVP in this matchup because of life gain and because it flies, so it can block all the fairies. Which is what we were really missing last time. I don't feel too bummed about last time. We didn't see Lucifer, 1 to 4 Lucifers in like half the deck, so I think that's unlikely, but sometimes it'll just happen. Okay, so we have one of those. We probably want to get rid of the Moon Breezes, the Moon Breeze Moria, or Moon Breeze Fairy, rather. Okay. Go ahead and tap these two. It's actually pretty good. Because this forces my hand here, I'm going to have to play... I think I do, just because based on my stones... okay, I did tap wrong. Yeah. We'll have to do this like the sort of harder way. I have another Lucifer in hand, so I'm okay with it. Although I definitely should have tapped the Black Moons Moria. That's something I'll have to keep in note. If I had to tap one for the life gain, tap the Black Moons Moria instead. I don't want to get another Hastur here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and drop this. Because he could Judgment next turn. He has Kaguya's Premonition. So that's pretty good. We essentially, what, 2 for 2? Maybe not even that. That misplay is actually really punishing. That's the difference between having Lucifer still in play and not having Lucifer still in play. Because I would have rather just sacked off the Guinevere instead. Or sacked the Rukh Egg Guinevere. Yeah. Yep, that kills this one. Oh, okay, so it's 5. Okay. Yeah. Still a little awkward here. Actually, I probably want to tap this. Force him to sack one. And then do I just block the other one, I think? I can activate those two. I don't think I can block here, because if he shoots this, he can shoot Lucifer for a lot. So I'm going to have to just flame this one. This way there's no really good block, I guess. Or no really bad block, I should say, for me. You can activate two of these, so +4. I think I'm okay with that. I really would have liked to keep the other Lucifer in play, though. That's a misplay that's probably going to cost me this match. I'm still going to upload this, even if I lose this. I like his deck. Like, I really like his deck. I think it's a unique take. Liberator is, like, a great ruler for a deck that runs out of dudes. Yeah. So everything's going to get +4. +6. Something like +8. No, that was really just me. Me misplaying. Yeah, because if I don't tap this one, I can just pay 2 life, play the Guinevere and the Rukh Egg, sack those off for Hastur, keep the Lucifer. Um, yeah. No, his deck's really sweet. He gets to play stuff like Kaguya's Premonition, or like Protection the Fairies. Yeah, I can see that getting owned by Lancelot's here. So game one was really, game one I wanted to see a Lucifer, and I didn't in the top half of my deck, which is unfortunate because I do run 4. And I think, yeah, gaining life in game one would have put me back in the game, and that's unfortunate that I just didn't see it. Game two, obviously I tapped wrong. I should tap the moon, the Black Moon's Memoria instead. So a little awkward here at the start. I think it's workable though. I actually would prefer it to be Sign rather than the Executioner against this deck anyway, because Sign hits a lot more. Here I can just pass with... Well, I'm probably going to Sign 2 things, so I'm just going to cast the Black Moon's Memoria right now. If he plays around Sign, that'd be pretty good. may have to like flame something. Yeah. Water Sprite. My hand is a little awkward. I can probably tempo him. Just with the sign. That's actually really cool. He runs out on Brawly. It's actually really cool. I like the stuff that this deck can do. I might have to build this. This is really sweet. Attack for 2. I'm okay with that. I've drawn all the flames in the world, so I think I'm just going to... I'm just gonna leave up Flames mana, probably. I don't know. Probably not. I'm actually gonna play the Rukh Egg. I can Flame Sand Rukh Egg if I need to. He's probably gonna play around the sign, but he probably wants to attack. Yeah, he's probably gonna play around the sign. But he's gonna play around the sign and attack without Brawly, and I don't want to just take 6 or just randomly flame stat on Brawly here. I want to playing Rukh Egg encourages him to play another dude because it's going to Rukh Egg's gonna chump his Adam Brawly, and he wants to get in damage, I think. So here, probably just grab a Hastur here. It's probably the best way to do it because I want to actually play something that's relevant and kill something. His entire team flies except for like these two, so that's really awkward for me. Is he attacking? Kind of unclear what he's actually doing. Okay. He's just gonna play the lane. Did I get rid of the flyers here? I almost feel like I do. If I were him, I'd put it on the water sprite, the protection. If he was to put it on something this turn. I don't need to trigger that yet. So I can... I'm gonna get rid of his flyers. So those are expelled, and then I'll take 2. Go ahead and get rid of one of these things. that. Play this. Kill the Adam Brawly. And then pass. The amount of card draw he now has, that Fairies now has with this kind of deck, is actually really sweet. I really like this. But he says it loses a Lancelot, like stuff like Lancelot. So I'm just kind of curious, like, what is the mulligan constraint, or what would you want to do, or what could you do against Lancelot? I know Protection of the Fairies is obviously very good against Lancelot. Yeah. And a Merry Bell. So we hit our Robe. That's pretty good. Go ahead and play the Robe. Both of these things fly, so I think I just attack here. Actually, I don't attack here. That'd be pretty awful. What do I have in the grave I can get? Doesn't look like I have much in the grave I can get here. So I just play the Guinevere, take a bunch of damage, and hope to dig. That's probably what I have to do. Realistically, just dig really hard with Guinevere. The thing is, his deck gets wrecked by split, like an opposing like red split kind of deck. So he needs a life gain of his own in his deck. I think if I was to build his deck, I would want some sort of life gain, most likely. Reason why Sign didn't hurt him much is because he has so much card draw. The Black Fairy is actually really good. I'm very surprised. Black Fairy and Adam Brawler, that is a sweet combo. So he's gonna be able to get another protection of the Fairies. That's really good. We're just gonna take a bunch of damage this turn, most likely. Okay, so this is 7, 9, that's 11 right there. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. 4, so it's 6. This deck is just really sweet. He's gonna get like a water sprite. Yep. Ooh, okay, that's problematic. He's gonna draw a Thunder next turn. Ugh. I don't think I can even take that damage. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 13. So we go to like 11. Main thing is that like my deck's a little bit clunky, it seems. Yeah, we're gonna want to get rid of this. Deathscythe is good. Hastur not so good here. I have a Pitch Black Moon, so I can get rid of something and then get Hastur back when I need him. and play this. Have to play this as well, but he's probably just gonna pop it. Am I just dead? If he judgments and he swings for like 9 or something. Okay, well I can kill his dude if he judgments. I have to be able to block these things. That is what, 6 plus another 4. That's 10. Okay, so I'm not actually dead. I'll go ahead and play this anyway. Yeah. Because I can take 10. I'll see plays like a Vivian. That'd be problematic. 6. Oh, he drew the thunder, right? Yeah. Hasters are awful in this matchup. It's kind of surprising. I actually wonder if I should cut some number of... I'll have to mess around with this kind of list at some point. I like what I've seen so far. Yeah, I'll mess around with a list like this later on. I think that'd be really cool. As for this list specifically, I feel like I may want to run um, what I really needed to see was another sign. Unfortunately, like, okay, so I have to keep the flames. Even though flames wasn't that great here, I think I have to keep them. The hasters were just awful here. But I'm wondering specifically... Oh, how good was the stoning? What did stoning kill? Kill the Vivian, okay. So stoning is a little bit better than I thought it would be. Deathscythe obviously not very good here. I may want to just go back to 3 stoning, because if the Deathscythe with the stoning, it would have been a lot better. Yeah, because I could stoning this thing and actually get rid of it as opposed to just playing Deathscythe. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Which is kind of what I originally had. I had 4 Deathscythe in the side. Robe here is not very good. I might take the Susano out. I had it in there for stuff like Bahamut, but I don't think it's actually that good. Because usually if I need to kill like a Guinevere or something, I'm probably just going to get a Haster. I think I do want the 3rd stoning back in. Because if that Deathscythe was a stoning, it would have been a lot better. So I just basically went back to my original list that I had. Yeah. And we will say he won this game. That deck was sweet. Yeah, but thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the match. I learned a couple things about my own deck, about how I should activate Lucifer. That's a small little thing, but it probably cost me that game specifically. I learned, well, I needed to see a Lucifer um, more early on. I've been contemplating whether I should cut one of the Rasputins for Carmilla, or just cut all 3 Rasputins, go to Lora, 1 Carmilla, since that actually streamlines the deck a little bit, whereas Rasputin is not as good like individually. Um, I think I don't know. It's really hard. I feel like I still want all 4 Flames. Flame's still a good card. Can't be chased too. The Stoning was definitely better than the Deathscythe there. The signs, I really wish I saw more signs there, so I can't cut those. Hasters were awful, but I don't think I can cut that many Hasters. It's possible that I mean I could go to 3 Haster and go 1 Carmilla, but the issue is that sometimes you want to have the Haster on turn 2 sometimes. Be able to Haster something turn 2 if you don't have like a sign or something. Or an Executioner. And if you have 4 Hasters, you can actually do that, whereas if you have 3 Hasters and a Carmilla, you might actually have the Carmilla in hand when you want the Haster. It's a tough call, and something I'll have to try in like my next few games. I don't know if I'll record them, just trying that idea out, but it's something I'm considering, because I will say that Rasputin feels like dead weight in this deck, but I don't know what I really want to like. I think I keep the barriers here. I think it was just me not seeing certain cards, but I think it was also his deck being more consistent. And that's something I really want in this deck, more consistency. And Rasputin doesn't really give me consistency, whereas 2 Loras, like, sure, it costs more, so I can't just, like Rasputin incarnate a dude. Um, I'd probably have to, well, it depends, because, like, if we open with Executioner, then we're gonna have 2 mana next turn anyway, right? So it's probably better just to make the deck more streamlined, as opposed to having this cheaper card. I don't know. We'll see. It's a difficult call, but I just don't like Rasputin as a card. There aren't that many good black 1-drops. But yeah, yeah. Thank you for watching. I will try this idea out, and if I like it, then I'll tell you in the next video. So hope you enjoy.